You're listening to Keith Sports News. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to KSN episode 56. And yes, I decided to do another special Tuesday edition. I'll tell you why it's another Tuesday. A few reasons. Number one, I didn't really have too much time to record this and have it ready on Monday. And number two, my mother woke up really early and I didn't want her to hear me talk, do this episode. She'd be like, why are you talking loud or in the middle of the night? You know what I'm saying? She went on a trip with her friends, so I'm like, well, I think it's better if I do another special Tuesday edition. And unfortunately for me, I still don't have much time. I really should be in bed sleeping, but I didn't want to miss 2 days in a row, so I'm gonna make this as quick as possible, even though I do have quite a bit to talk about. But the main thing I want to talk about is Wimbledon tennis, because that is the big event going on in sports. First of all, hope you all had a happy 4th of July weekend. I did. It's the same thing for me every year, pretty much. I don't go out. I mainly stay home, and I watch quite a bit of sporting events, mainly Wimbledon tennis, Canadian football, and some baseball games. So, yeah. Speaking of the 4th of July, the shirt that I'm wearing, that's right. I got a new USA shirt. Every year, I mentioned my mother, every year she would give me a new USA shirt. And I didn't wear this on the 4th of July this year. I planned on wearing, I wore a different shirt, for, you probably know what shirt I'm talking about if you follow the main channel, Eric Super Magnificent. So yeah, anyways, so I made a list on what I will be talking about. First of all, okay, so obviously every 4th of July, the hot dog eating contest, yes, I did watch that. I watch that every year. Congratulations to Joey Chestnut making a return, and oh my gosh, it's just hard to put into words if you watch this every year. How many hot dogs did he eat in 10 minutes? 70 or 71? Jeez Louise. I mean, goodness gracious. How? How does he... It's crazy, man. He's been in this contest for it's going to be 20 years probably. 18 years or something. Besides him missing last year. I mean, good gosh. So, it's great to have him back. The GOAT, clearly the GOAT. And I don't know how he still does it, because, 18 years, you're getting older and older every year, but geez, I mean, he looks great. So, it's weird how this is the only eating contest televised on ESPN. This is really the only eating contest I watch. I bet it's probably the same for a lot of people, But some people only, in golf, some people only watch the Masters. That's it. Horse racing, some people only watch the Triple Crown races. Tennis, some people only watch Wimbledon. Okay? So, the auto racing, NASCAR, the Daytona 500. IndyCar racing, the Indianapolis 500, because those are the biggest events. American football, the Super Bowl. Canadian football, the Grey Cup. WWE Pro Wrestling, WrestleMania. Yeah. So, if you're a big event guy, a big event fan, then yeah, there's a lot. So, anyways, before I talk about the tennis, let's do a quick recap on the CFL, the Canadian Football League of week 5. From starting with Friday night. Yeah, Friday night football on the 4th of July, a Canadian football game. And yes, I actually did watch some of that game live. Isn't that weird for me? An American watched a Canadian football game on America's birthday. And I didn't watch all of it, but I did watch some of it. I had it on my TV, so I went outside to hear some of the fireworks on the 4th of July, and while I was doing that, while I was outside, I was listening to the game on Sirius XM radio because they have the games on a Canadian channel that's on Sirius XM, so that's cool. So the game was the Hamilton Tiger Cats at the Toronto Argonauts, and my gosh, this is probably the most surprising story yet so far this season. The Tiger Cats scored 51 points on the road at the defending Grey Cup champions. 51-38. Usually when you score 38 points, a lot of times, oh, that's enough to win, but no, you give up 51. That is pretty rare in not just Canadian football, but pro football in general. A lot of times that happens in college football, even if it's two big teams, But 51 points, wow. Tiger Cats, after starting off 0-2, they're a great team. The Tiger Cats have won 2 straight. And for the Argonauts, I guess we'll have to see when Chad Kelly will come back, the former Ole Miss quarterback. Saturday night was the BC Lions against my favorite team, the Montreal Alouettes. And, okay, so this was Saturday night, okay? So I was watching 2 games Saturday night evening. This was one of them. The other game was the Fox MLB game between the Houston Astros and the LA Dodgers. So I might as well put that game on as well. Here's the thing, I had both games on mute, but because I was listening to music. I was listening to music while I was watching both games at the same time. Kind of like at a restaurant. If you go to a restaurant that has a bunch of TVs in there, they would usually play music, So that's kind of what I did. Sometimes I do that during this time of the year. So, but yeah, every Saturday evening, there would be a CFL game and the Fox MLB game. So, but the football game was more important to me because they play once a week, So, this game, the Alouettes returned to their home venue after playing 3 straight road games, which is kind of weird. And I thought they would win. Okay. The first half, they looked pretty good. 14-9 at halftime. Third quarter, Alouettes kick a field goal to make it 17-9. And then the BC Lions made a comeback. And then the Alouettes, they scored a field goal to make it 20-18 with very little time left. And then BC tried to make a comeback. And I thought the way the camera was pointing on the field, it looked like the BC Lions were not quite in field goal range. And they were. Last play of the game, they kicked a field goal. right down the middle. I was hoping they would miss it because remember that Montreal Alouettes are my favorite team. And the BC Lions won at the very end by a score of 21-20. Yeah, and then for whatever reason, there was a fight. There was a fight after the game. You normally don't see fights in the CFL. Usually the players have respect for each other, they're chill and relaxed. But for whatever reason, there was a fight after the game. Like, goodness gracious. So, BC won by 1 point. And then the Sunday night game was the two not so good teams. The Ottawa Red Blacks against the Edmonton Elks. This was a pretty high scoring game. The Elks scored 22 points at halftime. Then the Red Blacks scored some points as well. So it's like, okay, this is a pretty close matchup. But Edmonton was mainly winning the whole game, and they held on to win by a score of 39-33. So the Elks got their first win. A quick look at the standings. In the East Division, the Alouettes are 3-2, Tiger Cats 2-2, Argonauts and Red Blacks are both 1-4. In the West Division, the only undefeated team left is the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They didn't play last weekend. They're 4-0. Calgary Stampeders 3-1. Same with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. BC Lions are 2-3, and the Edmonton Elks, they got their first win, 1-3. So this week, week 6, there's only 3 games instead of 4. 2 teams have a bye, and those are the Montreal Alouettes and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So no Thursday night game. So in the next episode of KSN, I will make my predictions of week 6. Okay. To the MLB. The Houston Astros swept the Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. That is surprising. Isn't that crazy? And Friday night, 4th of July, they scored, 18 runs? I can't believe that. They scored 18 runs against the defending World Series champions. Like, how does that happen? So, yeah, Houston Astros, they are sometimes you just never know with this team, We'll see how they do for the rest of the season. I wish them well. I just missed their old roster, from years ago, but the only original player left is Jose Altuve. So he'll go down as one of the greatest Astro players of all time. I'm sure they're going to retire his number once his career comes to an end, or whenever that is. So, and some big news. I heard that the Washington Nationals fired Dave Martinez, the manager. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to hear that news because they haven't been a good team ever since they won the World Series back in 2019. So we're approaching 6 years. I know, 6 years already since they won that World Series. Now, I do remember that World Series. My former favorite team against my favorite team. So the World Series were all 7 games were won by the visiting team. That has never happened. Not only in Major League Baseball, but in the 4 major sports. So yeah, they made history. So, but yeah, ever since they won the World Series back in 2019, they have not been a good team. So that's why I wasn't really surprised. Okay, now to Wimbledon. Um, yep, okay, I talked about everything else. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about, Wimbledon. The big thing happening right now. So, the last episode of KSN was on Friday. Okay. Remember, I have YouTube TV, so thankfully I don't have to watch this live. It's not easy for me to watch this live waking up early, and plus I work during the day, so I would have that recorded and I would put that on during the evening and watch as much as I can. Okay? Now that we're in the second week of Wimbledon, every match is a huge matchup that ESPN is showing. Alright? So, yeah. So, So a few days ago was the end of round 3, and the round of 16 just ended. So now we're in the quarterfinals. Okay. So, Monday. This is another reason why I decided that I'm glad. This is the reason why I'm kind of glad I'm doing this on Tuesday instead of Monday. It's because if you follow Wimbledon every year like I do, the second Monday of the tournament, they call it Manic Monday, where both center court and court number 1 are both telecast by ESPN and ESPN2 at the same time. So luckily I had both of those recorded, and I would play both broadcasts at the same time. But court number 1, ESPN2, their broadcast came on first. I believe it was at 5 a.m. Central, and then 2 hours later, ESPN's center court coverage came on. So I made sure I played those at the same time, so that way it matches, the time, if that makes sense. Even though I wasn't watching them live at the same time, but I put it on I played the recordings at the same time, if that makes sense. So, and I'm glad I did that. Instead of, flipping back and forth, I can just, I have them both at the same time. I have two TVs, so I would play, one on one TV and the other on the other TV. So, and that's kind of what I did pretty much all night, or all evening. Manic Monday. So, and I completely forgot about Manic Monday until I realized, oh yeah, they do this every year where center court matches are telecast by ESPN, and the court number 1 matches are telecast by ESPN2. So that's why I'm kind of glad I'm doing another special Tuesday edition of KSN. So that way, okay, we might as well wait until the round of 16 matches are over, so that way I can give you my quarterfinal predictions, okay? So, on the men's side, men's singles, I watched the Novak matches. I watched his 3rd round match and his round of 16 match. I watched some of the Ben Shelton matches as well. And even Marin Cilic. Yeah, Marin Cilic, the longtime player from Croatia. He's a very tall guy. Who else did I watch from the past couple of days? Taylor Fritz, the American. I saw some of the Andrei Rublev and the Carlos Alcaraz match from Sunday. A little bit of the Cameron Norrie match as well. Alright. And Monday, I watched the first match that came on the men's singles was the Novak Djokovic and the Alex de Minaur match. I was watching some of that. That was on center court. ESPN2 The first match they showed was the Marin Cilic and what's the other guy's name? Flavio Carboli, the Italian player. That was a pretty good match. And the Ben Shelton match against Lorenzo Sonego. The one match I didn't have time to watch was the last match, Yannick Sinner against Grigor Dimitrov. And, you know, I thought Sinner would win because he's the favorite, right? So that's why I'm decided, I guess I won't watch that match. But my goodness, Sinner lost the first two sets, 3-6, 5-7. However, in the third set at 2 games apiece, Grigor Dimitrov could not continue. That's a shame. So Sinner advances to the quarterfinals. Yeah. You just never know, man. It's always terrible to see these players unable to continue. Okay, so that's on the men's side. The women's side, let's go back to Friday, the 4th of July. I saw some of the Amanda Anisimova, the young American player. She's always been my favorite. Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, another pretty well-known player. Okay, from Saturday, what match did I watch? I watched a little bit of the Barbora Krejcikova and the Emma Navarro match. And Barbora Krejcikova won the Wimbledon last year, and she lost in the third round this year. So that means we're getting another Wimbledon women's champion on the ladies' side. This is the 8th. This will be the 8th different ladies singles champion, I think, since 2016. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. A new champion again. Let's see. Sunday, round of 16. Oh yeah, I also watched some of the Amanda Anisimova match as well. I saw a little bit of a Arena Sabalenka match. The favorite to win Wimbledon. She's just too powerful. She's just too good of a player. I saw another Pavlyuchenkova match, who took on Sone Cartel. And Monday, Manic Monday, I was watching the first 3 matches instead of the last match. The one match that I didn't really watch was the Iga Swiatek and the Clara Tauson match. Mainly because I just don't have time to watch that match, and I had a feeling Iga would win that match. And she did. She did. So now the quarterfinals are set. I guess I'll give you my predictions, since the next episode will be on Friday, of me previewing the finals. So to the men's singles, quarterfinals begin today. Well, by the time I release this episode, the quarterfinals matches are probably already over, or maybe at least one of them is over, and one is happening right when I'm releasing this video at 11 a.m. Central, because these matches take place early in the morning. Alright, these are big matchups. Taylor Fritz against Karen Khachanov. This is their third meeting, and Khachanov has won both times. Obviously, I'm going to root for Fritz. I think Fritz can win this match. I think Fritz will win this match in 5 sets. I think he's going to win another 5-setter match. Then later, Cameron Norrie against Carlos Alcaraz. Alcaraz is just too good. I think Norrie might win a set. Mainly because, you know, he has the crowd. The British crowd. I think Alcaraz will win in 4 sets. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, we got Yannick Sinner against Ben Shelton. I'm going to go with Sinner in this match because he's the favorite to win this tournament. But I will be rooting for Ben Shelton. I think Sinner's going to win in 4 sets. And then the Flavio Cobolli against Novak Djokovic. Novak, man, he looks really good for his age. I think he'll win. He might win in straight sets. He might win in maybe 3 tight sets. Actually, I kind of want Novak to win the whole thing just because he's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. I mean, holy crap. What an athlete. I saw that. Oh, yeah, his 3rd round match. It was against another Serbian player. Did you see that point? Where he like dove and he won the point? That was crazy for his age. I mean, goodness gracious. He looks the same too. So, and in his last match against Alex de Minaur, Roger Federer was there. Roger Federer had the best seat in the house. So, one all-time great watching another all-time great. That's awesome. I think Novak will win the quarterfinal. All right. Women's singles. Aryna Sabalenka, I think she's going to win her match. Now this other one will be interesting. Amanda Anisimova against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. I can see that match go to 3 sets, and I think it will go to 3 sets. I don't know. I'm going to cheer for Amanda. I don't know. You just never know on the ladies' side. I don't know. Somehow the pressure might get to Amanda, so I guess I'll go with Pavlyuchenkova in 3 sets. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, the other quarterfinal matchups, we got Mira Andreeva against Belinda Bencic. Man, Mira Andreeva, what a great player. She might win again, and I think she will win her quarterfinal match. And then the last quarterfinal match, Iga Swiatek against Samsonova. I think Iga's going to win as well. All right. So, back to the men's side real quick. So, in my semifinals, I have Taylor Fritz taking on Carlos Alcaraz. And the other one, Jannik Sinner against Novak Djokovic. And the 2 players that I have advancing to the final are the two top seeded players, Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz. That is my Wimbledon final prediction. A rematch from the French Open from a month ago. Who will win? I'm going to cheer for Sinner. If that's the final, I will cheer for Sinner because I would like to see him win Wimbledon for the first time. That can go either way. I might have to perhaps maybe talk a little more about that if these 2 players advance to the final or semifinals in the next episode. Because I believe, isn't Friday the semifinals of the men's side? It is. Okay. But if that's the Wimbledon final, that match might be 5 sets. I think it will be. Women's side, my semifinals are Aryna Sabalenka against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova, and the other one I have Mira Andreeva against Iga Swiatek. I have Sabalenka advancing to the final, and I have Iga advancing to the final. That'll be a big matchup. Sabalenka and Iga. I'll cheer for Iga if that is the final. But I think Sabalenka will win that. She's just too good. She's just too damn good. I thought she would win the French Open against Coco Gauff, and Coco Gauff got eliminated in Wimbledon. It's just crazy, man. So, hey, it's gonna be great. This is the main thing. This is the main sport I'll be watching this week. All right. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I know this is a shorter episode. It's just because I really don't have time. I really should be sleeping right now. So, yeah. Enjoy the rest of Wimbledon. And I'll talk to you guys on Friday to talk about these matches. Until then, have a great next couple of days. See you on Friday, hopefully. Thank you for listening to Keith Sports News.